Yo, what's good, guys? It's your boy Tanish here, and today we're gonna be reacting to a true breaking horror story by Wansee Entertainment. Well, without further ado, let's get straight to it, and don't forget to subscribe and like, and also subscribe to Wansee Entertainment. Alright.
It all started with a knock on the door. It was around 10 p.m.
Alright.
The kitchen was right beside the front door, so I could see the front yard. I looked out only to see a man with a mask looking right at the door.
Oh,
Then the lights went
yo,
off.
ugly.
Whoever was at the front door had left, and I could hear many windows being shuffled.
I'll just call 911.
I started fearing for my life. Shivers went down my spine. I am right now enrolled in the Durham Regional Police Academy to become a police officer in the future. So, in my parents' room, I put my gun, which was an RCMP model 3432, into a safe that my parents store money in. My mother, who also looked as frightened as I, said we should make a run for it into the backyard and sprint towards my uncle's house, which was 3 blocks away from us. But I looked towards the backyard glass sliding doors, and I could see the silhouette of a man and realized it looked like he was holding a knife. My mother and I decided to hide in the basement, as it had the most durable lock. We brought in kitchen knives and hid there in the vast darkness. My mother was crying, so I reassured her that everything was going to be okay. An hour went by, just staying there but not hearing any noises. My father should have been home by now, I thought to myself. We carefully went out of the basement and we saw that there was nothing. That's when I realized that I had a gun upstairs.
Thank you.
I felt a little guilty, as I'm learning to become a cop, and cops are supposed to investigate these kinds of situations. I didn't know the code for the safe, so my mother opened it and I got out my gun.
Alright.
My mother was beside me with a kitchen knife as we went into every room to see if anyone had broken in. We didn't find anything, so we concluded that they were just kids who were ding-dong ditching. My mother was still paranoid as my sister's washroom window was cracked open. Both my sisters were on a camping field trip as the school year ended. Due to my mother's paranoia, I slept with her in the master bedroom, and I even brought my gun. She asked where my father was, and I said, he's probably just busy. I went to bed, but awoke around 2 a.m. to hear my mother shouting. She was in the closet, looking at something, and something from the closet snatched her. I picked up my gun and pointed towards the closet, but something from behind me started strangling me.
There's more?
I twisted his arm and pointed the gun at him. The other man holding my mother pointed a knife towards my mother, but immediately I shot his hand. My shooting skills have succeeded as I successfully hit his arm and he dropped his knife. My mother picked it up as I let go of the man and pointed the gun towards both men. I told my mother to check the signal and electricity cable, and she rushed to check. In a minute, the lights turned on and notifications were popping up on my phone. I picked up my phone and dialed 911, and my mother called my father. I unmasked one of the men, and it was this 40-year-old man with a lot of facial hair and looked frightened. I unmasked the other one and was shocked to see my father's ex-best friend, Tony. I remember meeting him a lot, and my father and he were close, but this man got involved with drugs or something. My father saw
Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs.
his changes and decided that this will eventually turn into a toxic friendship, so left him. But he was very aggressive, and my father was beaten up by him and his friends. My father ran back home and called the police on his best friend, and at court testified against him, and Tony was sentenced to 16 years in jail for illegal drug use. It had been 16 years, but I didn't know how he got to our location and why he would rob us. The police came and arrested them. Their car had weapons. My father didn't pick up when the police went to go see his office, and he was not there. He left his work office 5 hours ago. My mother and I cried, and they found my father's body the next day at a dumpster, as it was wrapped in a garbage bag.
Father died.
He had 17 stab wounds. Both my sisters had to...
Nah, that's sad, bro. The father died. Nah. And they had to break into the house, bro. Nah. They're menace. Nah. They are demons, bro. Yeah, he deserved to be shot, bro. I would have killed him. I would have done that.
come back, and we all cried. Tony and his friend, who we found out was named Tyler, were both sentenced to death. We had a funeral for my father shortly after. I still can't forget that incident. 3 weeks after that incident, I rebuilt and styled the basement and put it for rent.
Alright.
I got a part-time job at Walmart, and my mother and one of my sisters worked for my mother's friend who had a dress shop.
Oh.
That's how we kept the house, as we didn't want to sell our house. I became a police officer at the Durham Regional Police, and I've been working for 10 years.
My man became a police officer. Let's go.
I purchased a new house, which was a 2-garage, huge house for my sisters, mother, and me. I rented my former house, and I am 28 now. I'm going to get married this year. I was even told by my chief that I might be appointed as the chief of police for the Durham Regional Police. My life is going great right now, but I wish my father could see this, and I could give him a big hug in person.
R.I.P. father. Well, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. As I said in the beginning of the video, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Also, subscribe to Wansee Entertainment. And that's it. Peace.